going on, guys? I am Kadarius Washington, and you are watching the Sports Rundown. Well, folks, for the first time since 2016, the NBA Finals are going to a Game 7. The Indiana Pacers put the absolute smackdown on the Oklahoma City Thunder 108-91 in Game 6, and now we got a Game 7. And you know what? I said this after Game 1. From the way that this Indiana Pacer team looked and how they've always responded and how resilient that they've been throughout this entire postseason, you had to figure that this was going to be the case, and nevertheless, here we are. And along with that, and I said this a couple of days ago, the closeout game is the hardest game to win in a series, especially when you're on the road. And that was exactly the case last night. And the Indiana Pacers, they played their good basketball. They had another resilient game in them after blowing Game 4, which I thought was their best chance of winning the championship, because if you go up 3-1, this thing is over. And then, of course, Game 5, when Jalen Williams for OKC went absolutely bonkers and had the game of his life with 40 points. And then, of course, right before Game 6, we get the news that Tyrese Halliburton was dealing with a calf strain, and we know the significance of that injury because in 2019, obviously, Kevin Durant tried to play through that calf strain, and next thing you know, he popped his Achilles. But nevertheless, the Indiana Pacers, they played their good basketball last night. Obi Toppin leading the way with 20 points. TJ McConnell with 12 points, both off the bench, and both of them shooting 6 for 12 from the field. And the Pacers bench outscored Oklahoma City's bench 48-37 in the game. And then, of course, Pascal Siakam having 16, Andrew Nembhard with 17, and Tyrese Halliburton with 14. And you pretty much figured once we got to halftime, this thing was going to 7. And OKC, a very brutal game for OKC. Their starters combined 1 for 13 from 3. The only Oklahoma City starter to hit a 3 in the game was Lou Dort. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a very, very brutal game for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He had 21 points, but he also only had 2 assists and 8 turnovers. Chet Holmgren absolutely disappeared in this game with only 4 points, and Jalen Williams responded to that 40-point performance in Game 5 with a 16-point performance in Game 6. And guess what? We got a Game 7. And to the casual fan who thought that they weren't going to be into this, 2 small market teams, what do they care, blah, 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 you're going to have to be into this now. Because guess what? We got a Game 7. And I think this game is going to get an absolutely incredible rating. And, of course, after learning about all the ratings nightmares, small market teams, all this, blah, 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 we have not had a Game 7 since 2016, as I mentioned. And I think it is going to be a phenomenal game. And I think we are going to get a phenomenal rating. Who wins? Pacers or Thunder? Let me know in the comments. Talk to me. Talk to each other. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell to be notified of when I post again. And also follow me on Twitter and on Bluesky at CW Talk Sports. That's CWTALKS Sports. And I will see y'all the next time. Peace.